Hey there. So as a book coach and publisher, I get asked this a lot. How long should my book be? And I'm going to answer you. But first of all, I want you to think about some of the books that you might have read, and even if you haven't, really well-known books that are classics, that have sold millions of copies, and what their lengths are. So think of Who Moved My Cheese? So super short book and a classic, millions of copies sold. Another one, The Richest Man in Babylon, also short book, shorter than average. Then we have Think and Grow Rich, another one, sold many copies, shorter than average. And then we have books like Gone with the Wind. I don't know if you've read that, but it is a classic novel, and it is over 1,000 pages long, way longer than average for a novel. So when you think about how long your book should be, sometimes you need to think more about different aspects to it rather than length itself. In other words, how long does it need to be, if it's nonfiction, until your reader actually has all the information they need to succeed at the topic? What are you promising the reader? So sometimes it comes down to what you're promising them. If you're just promising them one or two short tips, then it doesn't matter if it's a short book. If you're promising them the earth, then you better make sure that you've got a lot of content in there. But I have seen people worry so much about length, and what you don't want to do is you don't want to end up being repetitive in your book, which I've seen in some books. They become so boring and repetitive just for the sake of trying to fill the pages, or putting in just filler information again, which ends up just being fluff. So you don't want to do that either. So when it comes to length, actually the more important question is, what is the content that your reader actually needs? Certainly if it's nonfiction. And remember that there are vastly different lengths of nonfiction books. There are long ones. Tim Ferriss has written a very long book on health. I think it's called the 5-hour health body, or something like that. It was after the 5-hour work week, and that is very long. It's got a lot of information in it. And then you have other books which are doing equally as well, which are maybe less than 100 pages, so 20,000, 30,000 words, that kind of amount. So there are some considerations depending on the genre of your book, and there are some expectations that readers have depending on the genre of the book. So for example, memoir, there are some averages, but then again, there are short memoirs and there are average length, longer memoirs. So again, it depends on how you're listing your book, what genre expectation you're putting on the reader. And again, when it comes to nonfiction, pretty much anything goes. So what's more important is, am I putting the right content in? Am I putting enough content in based on what I've actually promised this reader and what they actually need to fully cover this topic? Far more important question than stressing over the length of the book. So I hope that helps. And if you want to hear more tips and advice from me on all things book writing, publishing, and marketing your book, come over on YouTube. Come join me there. I've recently started adding more content there, and so I hope to see you there. Bye.